SAP Career Journey, Part 1. Hi everyone, my name is Milos, SAP Logistics Solution Architect for Cortrust. And as promised, this week we start with a video series about how to advance in your SAP career. I want to take a little bit more time to explain some key facts and key information depending on where you are in your SAP career journey. So this is valid for EWM consultants out there, but actually it's valid also for the other modules, or generally if you're just starting out in your SAP career, this can be valuable advice. So today we're going to talk about the first steps. I'm going to talk about someone who maybe just graduated, just finished their studies, or maybe someone who did a small work experience and understood it's not their path and is stepping into an SAP position and in the SAP career. So there's three key things that are, my personal opinion, are crucial to that candidate, to that person that is just starting out in the SAP career. And I just want to make a disclaimer at the very beginning. This is my personal opinion. It's based on my personal experience, clearly. It doesn't mean it's the only way, all right? So do keep in mind there's different ways to get to your goals. And this is just my personal experience, and I hope it can be useful for you. All right, so that being said, what are the key three things for someone who's just starting out? The very first one is not to focus on which company you're joining or which salary you're getting to begin with. Really, the very most important thing for someone who's just starting out is who's going to be your direct manager. What I mean with that is, if you end up in a very big company or you get a great salary, but the person you're reporting to is not supporting you, doesn't have your best interest in mind, doesn't give you the right opportunities, doesn't train you, doesn't coach you, doesn't grow you, then you're in the wrong place. Because in the very beginning, what you should be aiming for is getting the best possible growth for yourself, for your expertise, to really become an expert, right? So if you don't have the right person supporting you, then clearly you're not in the right place. So think carefully about it. And I would personally recommend to always have your direct manager interviewing you at one step of the interview process. So you make sure you can see that person, you can ask them some key questions, you can see if there's a good vibe, and you can understand if this is someone who will be supporting you for at least the next 3-year journey and even more. All right. So this is number one. Number two, you want to make sure is in place is to realize that you're not an expert just yet. So oftentimes people finish their studies and they spend years of pain, going through pain, struggles, sacrifices. They think they now are ready for work. The reality is, unfortunately, that most of the people graduating are not ready yet to be an SAP consultant. They start as an apprentice, an internship, or as a junior role. The reality is that being an SAP consultant is very complex. It takes time and experience. This is the key word. You need real life experience in projects. What that means is that when you begin, you need to really become very, very humble, and you need to put yourself in a place where you're serving the other people on the project. You're serving your colleagues, you're serving your direct manager, you're serving other people, customers on the project, key users, anyone you can find, because quite honestly, in the very beginning, you're not useful to the team because you're going to need more attention and time from the team than the actual value you will be able to bring to the table. So someone needs to believe in you, your direct manager, and then also your colleagues and everyone else. So how do you make people spend time with you, believe in you, and help you out? Well, you make yourself useful. If that means just doing some copies, then you do it. If that means doing some boring documentation, you do it, because anything you do at this point is going to be useful for you to gain experience. It's going to be useful for you to learn what this is actually about. Now, don't get me wrong. It doesn't mean you just do copy paste for the first 3 years, or you can stay in AMS for years to come and do the exact same thing every single day for months and years. That's not what I'm saying. But in the very first year of your experience as an SAP consultant, or I should say apprentice, junior, you must be humble. You must be ready to do whatever is needed for the team. So you put the team before your own personal needs, because anything you do will help you grow. Last but not least is to really make yourself useful. Well, that's actually again the key point. You really need to put yourself at the service. Don't focus too much on your vertical or a specific module. So if someone tells you, hey, you start as a PP consultant and you end up doing an MM project, don't stress about it. In the very first year, it doesn't really matter, because in the very first year you're going to learn so much just being on the project that gaining experience is more important than gaining experience in your vertical. You don't have a vertical yet. You need to gain the experience to start thinking about it. After the first year, you can think about becoming more vertical or experienced in a specific module. All right, that was the third point, so came to my mind now. All right, so good. If any questions, just let me know. Write it in the comments. We'll talk about what happens now that you have 1 year experience and you're starting to understand what SAP is about, what a project is about, how things work. So what's your next step? How do you move forward? How do you move from, hey, I just arrived, I'm junior, to I'm actually being useful. People should start considering me as a consultant. We'll talk more about that in the next video. Hope you find it useful. Leave your feedback in the comments and I see you soon. Bye everyone.